It's the coldest hand that run down this land where the ocean ends. It's the tallest sound, the damn smallest crowd.
All right, so I had to leave the coffee shop mid-work day because the flat irons got a little dusting of snow this morning. However, there was no light this morning, so it wasn't really worth trying to shoot anything. It was very overcast, some very moody conditions. But as you can tell, the sun has started to come out, meaning I stopped what I was doing and I just came out here to try to get a few shots. However, with the sun, it also means most of the snow is melting off literally as we speak. And I'm doing something a little different. Obviously it snows in Denver, Boulder area enough that just capturing these flat irons with just snow on them really isn't super special. Like, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, I would still shoot it. But what I'm trying to do is use some of this colored foliage to create something a little bit more unique, because this colored foliage doesn't necessarily exist most of the time when there is snow on the flat irons. So I was trying to use that as a foreground element, but realistically it was the only stuff I could find before the snow started to really melt off. I've been trying to walk around finding some more shots, but can't really find anything. So maybe one of those will turn out that I'll put on the screen now after I'm done talking. Maybe we'll shoot something for sunset tonight, but we'll have to wait and see what the conditions are like. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying.
You're never lost among the crowd with me. Never lost among the crowd with me.
Hey, pardon the interruption. I just wanted to say that if you want to support me in more ways than like and subscribing to the channel, you can do that with a little link down below where you can find things like my calendar. The holidays are coming up and you can get it for photographers and non-photographers alike. Even if they don't watch this channel, they can scan those little QR codes and see how the images were taken on the calendar. I think that's pretty cool. You can also check out my Patreon down below where you can get things like postcards once a month, or you can see the behind the scenes edits of, I just uploaded the one from my iPhone review of the Blue Hour shot. I do both the edit on my R5 and on the iPhone, so you can see that on there as well. And last but not least, I've recently made some 3D wallpapers using the new iOS 16 that I think are pretty cool. You can also check out on that link down below. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let's get back to the video. I drove a little down the road and parked at a pretty big viewpoint in the Boulder area. A lot of people stop and take photos there. And I would just stop to shoot for a little bit, and I ended up staying there for almost 3 hours. But that's not why I'm talking to you right now. The reason I'm talking to you right now is that this is the day before I posted my video about struggling on YouTube. And I spent that day sitting in the back of my car, taking time lapses, shooting photos. But the most important part was not any of the photos, and it wasn't the place that I was, and it wasn't the conditions, and it wasn't the light. It was a guy that I met, a guy that knew who I was, that had said he'd watched my channel. His name is 𝐒𝐨. So I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I know you're gonna be watching 𝐒𝐨, so I hope I don't butcher it. You reminded me of what this is about for me. I was reevaluating a lot of things and just feeling so disconnected. And when 𝐒𝐨 came up and talked to me, he talked about his life. He told me about the relationship that he has with his father and his mom. And he said that a lot of the stuff that I talked about here on this channel, whether it was in my Q&A video talking about my dad, or if it was the video talking about spreading my dad's ashes, he resonated a lot with those. He told me some stories. He told stories about growing up in Peru and moving to the United States and getting married. And one of the most adorable things was that when his wife called him, or he called his wife to let her know that he was going to be later, because he just went up there to shoot the same thing I did. He ran into me, and then we ended up talking for 2 hours. And he was like, I'm going to be a little late. I ran into Alex. And he was on speakerphone. And she goes, the one we watch on YouTube? And it was in that moment that it resonated with me that, you know, I get so caught up in just doing what I'm doing that there are people out there watching what I'm creating and talking about, and it's actually mattering to them. And I feel like I lose sight of that sometimes. And I think the most important thing that you said to me, 𝐒𝐨, was that you said, hey, there's a lot of people out there watching. Maybe I'm not commenting. I never comment on videos, but we're always watching. And that really meant a lot to me. because it was, I don't know if the universe was delivering some kind of crazy timing or something, but that was the day that I had just finished the video talking about struggling and focusing too much on the numbers. And I think that it was exactly what I needed. That you ran into me, but honestly, I think I ran into you. So I really appreciate you sitting there and talking to me, shooting photos with me, telling me your stories about your dad and your family. And honestly, we didn't talk about much photography. We didn't talk about cameras. We didn't talk about lenses. We talked about life and what it means to be alive and why it's important to talk about the way we feel or the things that we do or the reasons that we do them. And it was a great reminder that, you know, all I see is this lens that I'm staring into right now, this diaphragm and this camera and this little screen over here. But it was a reminder that all you guys see is this. You see the other side, and I needed that a lot. I just wanted to say thank you, formally. Yeah, it meant a lot to me. So anyways, that's where I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna end with a few of the photos that I just took that you watched me take while I was talking about this. And a little update is I'm definitely gonna stop making daily videos. I think I'll pick them up again when I'm traveling, when I'm moving around, when I'm doing stuff and it makes sense that I have a lot of content to talk about. But I really wanna focus in. I have been working the last couple of days on some projects, catching up, like updating the photos on my portfolio, getting some stuff online, and I'm working on something really special that I think, it's funny because I made that video and people commented saying that, you know, presets might not be for me, but they could be for other people, and then I need to think about what can help people out there even though I might not still need them. And it really got me thinking, and I've been working on something that's brewing that I'm really excited to talk about because I genuinely think it's special, and I genuinely think that it will help people out there that are starting photography or in intermediate level of photography. So be on the lookout for that. And be prepared that my videos will probably only be once a week, maybe more than that, maybe less. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna start focusing more on those kind of things, and we'll go back to making daily videos when the journey starts again. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. 𝐒𝐸, thank you for being you. I'm watching you now. I'm thinking about you. Anyways, as always, you guys can like the video if you liked it. Consider subscribing if you loved it. I will see you again on the next one. Later.